one thing we can always be comfortable with is that we've got the best technology provider on the planet, bar none. We can't even begin to use the capabilities that they have. I mean, whenever you ask them something, it's like, oh, it's like 10 different ideas and things that you can do. I sometimes think we've not even begun to mine the depth of what you can do here, and yet what you do is fantastic. So it's like every year, what is it that we can think about that we haven't done this time? And there's just always a list of ideas out there. And so we're extremely proud to have IBM as our technology provider. Best to have the best, and we feel like we do.
But there's two things that we've done in IBM that I think have served us well in regards to the cloud market. One is that we appointed a senior exec. Sam Palmisano, our chairman, tapped one of our senior most execs and said, you own cloud for the company. And we had a vision for cloud that said this is not about servers, it's not just about software, it's not just about services to manage it, it's about the portfolio of capability to bring to our clients and leverage the cross-capability of IBM. So we appointed a senior exec, created a new capability and division in IBM called Enterprise Initiatives. And I think that has really allowed us to hone a strategy that starts with the end in mind. And that's something we've been doing for as long as I've been at IBM and for as long as IBM's been in business. We start with the end point, and then we work back in a strategic manner and implement as we need to support our clients. The second thing we did that I think is relevant, and this really resonates with our clients, is we began a transformation inside our own CIO's office. And cases like we're going to show you tonight at the US Open are part of that sort of transformation journey we've been on. So I think the fact that we eat our own cooking really goes a long way when we can sit across the table from a client, especially these enterprise clients, who are the ones that we typically target and serve with most of our capability. You know, for those of you that follow us, and I think you all do, you know, based on your backgrounds, you know that for us this isn't just sort of a game. I mean, we've declared that cloud is a strategic part of our growth imperatives for 2015. I know Sam Palmisano's stated publicly to our investors that we expect to drive $3 billion of incremental revenue, and consequently, you know, we're seeing cloud become very real in the market, and we're starting to see that get traction. From a buying behavior standpoint, just to comment for a moment with the enterprise clients, who are the ones that I think are where we'll really see the take-up with cloud and really see reinforcement of our strategy, I think we're seeing I'll call it a stratification of buyers. So we have the exploratory buyers in the market, the folks that are still doing proof of concepts, trying to figure out what is this cloud animal, does it fit me, does it not fit me, is it be-all, end-all, what is it? But we've got an emerging segment called, I'll call them economic buyers, and these are CIOs largely and IT organizations who are looking to drive efficiency in the organization given the last couple years of pretty difficult economic challenge. And we're delivering with cloud use cases in-period savings and driving real economic return for these clients. And you know, if you follow our press or anyone else's, I think everyone will confirm that, you know, economic value is still the #1 buying criteria in cloud, and we're delivering that to clients. We're starting to see the transformation happen with clients where industries are bridging across each other, where clients are looking at how they can extend their business models because information now is acquirable, synthesizable, manageable in a profoundly different way than it was before. That's an efficiency statement, it's an economic statement, it's an effectiveness statement. And you know, you may have seen, just to make a case concrete, you may have seen our announcement with Aetna, where we announced a collaborative care cloud. And you know, you might say, okay, so big deal, you link up some medical records. Well, that is a big deal. You know, it's a big deal because we're not only linking up disparate pieces of information from clinical systems, from pharmacy systems, from family physician healthcare systems, from claim systems inside Aetna. We're linking these things together, but more importantly, we're synthesizing the data with an analytics engine, and we're presenting it in real time at the point of care for a patient. That is cool. I mean, electronic medical records, that's a good thing. Digitizing data, I want that. I want a medical record that's as comprehensive as it can be. But to be able to pull that together dynamically for a physician at point of care, that's different. And oh, by the way, the secondary benefit is we're doing it with more efficiency and at a lower, you know, economic equation than we were doing it previously. So I think we're starting to see this emerging trend for industry transformation with cloud, and you know, I think, again, that's our sweet spot. And inside the company, we've actually set aside a fairly hefty sum of money to do what I'll call a VC board inside IBM, where one of our 17 industries come to the board with cases where we want to seed investment for unique transformational ideas, or partner with clients to drive new innovations in their industries. So I'll sort of conclude by saying that I think we're hearing from our clients that the strategy that we began a couple years ago is starting to resonate and starting to make sense. And it's based on all the principles that have served us well for so many years. These are what I call, and sometimes, with our line of business executives, the eyes glaze over when we start to talk about the IT function. But these are the ilities, right, that we build architecturally into just about everything we do. Scalability, reliability, availability. The ilities are the things that we foundationally always design our capabilities from. And the other piece I'll say is that security, if economic value is the #1 driver for cloud adoption in the market at the moment, security is the #1 inhibitor. And I think we still, as an industry, have a ways to go to get everybody comfortable that we can manage this stuff securely in the cloud. But I think we're at the forefront with a lot of the investments we've made with our security framework. That's something we didn't invent for cloud. It's an asset and a capability and a set of principles and competencies and research technologies that we've been building off of for quite some time. In fact, I would argue that we were probably foundational developers of security, back in the day when we were doing, standing up federal funds wire transfer, back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, you had to be pretty secure if you're going to move trillions of dollars in sub-second time across networks, or building out ATM networks, which, many can think of as sort of the cloud back in the day.